Hey guys, and welcome to another short tutorial or something that I stumbled upon. I wanted to talk about seamless loops today, seamless audio loops, and because I realized that some people don't really know how to create these, or I even find in commercial libraries that even some developers don't take the word seamless for granted, or don't create these loops as seamless as they should be, in my opinion. Not showing any examples here, but they're actually out there, and I just want to show my approach when I need to deliver seamless loops for tracks, or sometimes also for individual instruments. And so, yeah, the problem with looping audio is the best thing is to actually take grab take a look at what I mean with seamless and not so seamless loops. And best thing is to start with just some basic percussion loop. So let's just record a phrase for the moment. Click, and here we go. So that should be enough. Just quantizing that bit. Not the best performance ever, but should be enough to show what I'm actually talking about. So when I render this little drum loop, I want to use it in the project again. So just exporting that one, muting the audio. So here we the MIDI. So here we have the audio loop. So I can just duplicate that and loop the whole thing with no hassle at all. So all works fine. So we're good to go on that one. So especially with percussive signals, it really works as you expect. You create a loop and it loops seamlessly within the DAW with a given tempo. So, but what happens when we actually don't want to loop percussive signals, but let's say, for example, a string line? Also, let's just take the short notes, short strings from Sophobia. There it is. So and given the fact this is just to dry for my opinion, so just add some reverb on top. Let's just have a look what we use here. Let's go for the medium hall. That should be fine. So let's just create a 2-bar pattern here. Okay, actually start on the beginning. Damn it. So yeah, so we have a basic string loop going here. So, Just duplicate the MIDI version here. Just renaming the whole thing. And okay, let's not repeat that right now. And take just that portion that we want to loop and export the string loop back into the project. So there we go. We have the audio of the strings. And so this is where it actually happens. What I mean with the loops are not seamless as they should be, in my opinion. When you listen to the MIDI section and loop that one time, and then compare this to the audio section that we just rendered. I think no need to talk about that. The thing is that with the last note of the loop, which is in this case a 16th run or a 16th melody, just get rid of that. So if you actually hear the reverb tail of that instrument, if I play that to click, just so nearly 4 beats that the reverb tail takes to fade out. Then you actually realize when you loop the section in loop that 2-bar phrase with the last note on the last 16th, all that reverb tail gets cut off. So when you listen to the audio on its own, you can initially hear how the reverb is cut off. So obviously you can't just export a bar more. You might have the reverb tail then, but you can't loop it anymore. So my approach on how I render loops, and this not only comes down to single instruments, but also for a whole arrangement of a track that I've going where I need to export loopable sections, is that I actually double the loop and take, just we'll keep that for later. So I just have 2 times the loop. And let's just export that one. So we now have double the length of the initial loop that we created. And the essential part is this position right in the middle where the 2 loops get together. So let's just compare that with the original loop when we have that one. You always have that gap in there, and when I take the new one and all that's left to do is actually cut it in the middle and each loop in the middle. So basically I just get rid of the first part and push that forward. So that way we have a loop that loops seamlessly As you can hear, there is a slight pop in the middle here. What I can do here is just crossfade these two. And that way I have a really seamless loop that has no signs of transition. The only downside to that method is that you actually start the section with the reverb tail of the last note. So when you listen closely, you can hear the difference between that first loop, which starts with only the note, or the other one, where you hear slight reverb tail of the notes before. Usually in a setting of a full arrangement of a song part or something like that, it often is not as audible as it is with this single instrument now. So, but the positive side is that you get rid of any gaps in the loop. And if you still need that initial transient without the reverb tail, you can still take the portion of the full loop for the beginning. So meaning, where do we have it? Here. So that you use this part. But you, on the other hand, when you loop that back, you get the initial transient again. So mostly for full arrangements, it's just a better way to create seamless loops with doubling the loop section. For example, when we get back in the drum loop we just created, it's already less audible than when we take the strings on their own, with that initial reverb tail that starts on bar one as well. So that should be enough for now. Just want to show a quick way of how to create real seamless loops. You can extend that to, for example, when you want to create seamless loops with pads, for example. Oftentimes, this is a problem when you want to have audio loops of pad sound that have a long attack phase. So let's just go into some pads here. Just could take any of the ones that are in there. Just looking for something with a long attack phase. That seems pretty cool to try out. So when I just record a longer loop, for example, with that instrument, just turn on the click, just playing some random chords here. So 8-bar pattern here. Just quantizing that so we can actually loop it. So when I loop that with MIDI, there is no problem at all. We come from the last chord here. And just for the sake of demonstration, rendering the 1-bar loop. So there you can see already that we have that initial phase before the sound comes to life, and we get a cutoff at the end. So what happens is that you get this on looping. This is actually what you do not want. So what I do is double the loop size, export that one as audio. So then again, I can get into it and cut straight in the middle here as well. Delete the first part and take this one to the beginning. So I have a loop that runs seamlessly, but on the initial note, of course, you have the tail of the last note from the end of the loop. Again, there's a small pop on the cut. So what I do here is just bring back that a little bit and crossfade. So that's gone. And then we can easily loop that pad sound with no audible gaps. So yeah, I hope that helps, and see you next time. Thanks for listening and watching.